It's been a minute, but I just want to take you guys through weekly outlook. I've actually not been either trading or actually been online that much. Just came back, but yeah. So let's see what the week has for us. Next week, we are going to be having a lot of bearish movements according to what I'm seeing on my charts. So I am basically going to be looking at these three candles right here. It's the only thing that gives me mind or that gives me my direction at the moment. So what I do see here is price is giving us a very good volume imbalance, which is basically in between this on the DXY. So first of all, the DXY is actually one of the major indicators for most of the pairs that I trade. That is basically Euro USD, GBP and gold. GBUSD being the my biggest pair, though the volume imbalance actually compares is basically in addition with the imbalance here, so which is basically from this particular candle's low to this particular candle's low to this particular candle's high. And the reason why I chose the volume imbalance alone is that price mostly doesn't go above or beyond the volume imbalance to go into the fair value gap. So most times we just choose the volume balance instead. So that is where this particular one comes in. So this is the volume imbalance. But if you check price carefully, you realize that price has actually visited the imbalance from this place being the low to this price has visited it. So picking this whole thing won't be bad as well. All right. So with that being said, let's now take note of the next move we have. Currently, I am looking forward to see price breach this high, and that is my high for the week for next week. And I have my areas where I want price to reach. There is basically imbalances on the left side. Let's wait for price to load. Yep. So around here, you would see that we have price has given us this imbalance, and that is basically from here, which is this. Where am I? This right here, and this is basically the imbalance that we would definitely be seeing price to move forward. So that is our target for next week. We might reach and we might not, but that is what we are looking at for. But price has taken out the high of this particular candle. So we'll be looking forward to a price to take on the low. And eventually, after the low, we'll now want to see some break and retest. Then we'll move price to the downside. That's what I want to see. Um, so, yes. Now, with that being said, let's go to the next pair. Um, I don't know. Lower time frame is kind of a little bit noisy. So, but we can look at lower time frame. So on the lower time frame, you would see that price is actually right on that same volume imbalance that we spoke about, and you can see price created a very big, huge engulfing candle pushing price lower. So with these two as well, we can see price sweeping the highs. With this, a lot of people might want price to go back up to this high because of this imbalance right here, which makes sense because over after all, you always want to see internal liquidity to external. So price has tapped on um, internal liquidity and it's actually looking to take off the external liquidity, which is this particular high right here. But this is ultimately a pullback. And if you look at the pullback, you would realize that we have price giving us this particular nice consolidation before giving us a pull to the downside. This right here is kind of a support to give price that particular strength to go down. So we shouldn't expect to see anything more than price just giving a tap and a drop right here. So this can work, but I am mostly seeing this instead. So with this one, if you go further from the daily, I mostly go to the 1 hour. So the 4 hour is just to show you what I'm looking at for. If you go to the 1 hour, you realize that we have this breaker block is definitely going to stop price from going down, which is this, like I mentioned. So from here, you realize that we have price giving us a change of character, this kind of move. So with this, we just want to see price from here, then that will be it, and that is a similar thing that is happening right now. So we want to see more bearish prices to the downside. With that being said, let's now go to the next pair, which is GBP USD. So GBP is basically the opposite of DXY. The reason being that DXY is actually a dollar index, and GBP trades against the dollar. So basically, if we are looking for sales on DXY, we should be looking for buys on the pairs XXX which is basically any other pair trading against the USD. So, but let's see why we should be looking for buys on GBUSD. On GBUSD, you want to see buys for one reason. Price has created this wick by sweeping the previous candle's low, even though it for the high. But sweeping the low is one indicator, and this happened to be on an order block. All right, so this candle right here happened to be an order block. So we should be definitely looking to see higher prices from this particular candle here to the upside. So from here, we would like to see prices actually roll to this side. And this also came from another order block, which is from here to here too as well. So this is another block and this is another block. So we should be looking to see higher prices to the upside. The 4 hour also give us another reason that might want us to look for sales, but that shouldn't be a reason for you to actually look for sales because, as you can see, this has created kind of like um, this looks like an order block and all this. But to me, I would like to follow from higher time frame to lower, even though lower time frame moves prices. High time frame cleans the noise. So just so you know. So on the 1 hour, we would also see similar thing as the DXY, but not the same. So after price left, we can see price came back to this particular, I'll call it breaker block. So since we have a turtle soup right here or a sweep of the imbalance, so this is basically a sweep below before price moved to the upside. That is basically what we see here. This idea was taken, inducement was taken to fulfill this particular move, and it came back to sweep this lows. So we should highly anticipate price to move higher. And for another reason, you can see imbalance around here to give you more good prices. So over here, the only thing you should be looking for should just be some few entry plans on the 5 minutes. The reason I'm going on the lower time frame here is because this is my trading pair. So I want to basically see what is going to happen. So we have a lot going on, but price could definitely form and give us lower prices before giving us confirmations, or could just start rallying. And we have to look for entries along the way. Either ways, we would still have to be ready. The next thing we're looking at for is EURUSD. I don't know. It's the same thing as GU, and just like I explained for EU, TXY. This didn't sweep, but if we look quite closely, we should see that it's the same similar thing. Just that for this one, we might have to see price coming back to this imbalance right here. So if price does feel this imbalance, if we could see price tap into this imbalance a bit, maybe we could not see higher prices. But if we don't, then that is still fine. Maybe price is just trying to move following DXY. 4H won't show us much. Yeah, so 4H it's not showing much for me. I'm not seeing anything relevant, but I can see price struggling to sweep below this candle's low. So that's probably a sign that price is likely to go without even coming back to the internal imbalance, internal range. So we should be looking for higher prices to sweep, to tap into this first high and beyond. Now let's look into gold. Gold basically has similar thing. So on gold, um, gold mostly sometimes just rallies, goes, and doesn't even think about what's going to happen next. So with gold, we have price sweeping this high, um, with what I'm seeing, with price sweeping this. So if we could see some little lower prices, Yeah, so if we could see lower prices into the imbalance. So I for gold I also have imbalance areas like here to see before price could maybe go higher, or yeah, yes, visit this particular move right here, this small order block. If you go forward, that will be a little bit clearer. This one, if you could see price tapping into this before rallying, that will also be nice since price is sweeping. So for me, gold is really volatile. I would like to see more confirmations. Price could come below, lower here, and we could see some lower prices before price could go higher. So that's it. That's all I'm looking out for today. See you next week and have a nice weekend.